It's funny because there's so much opportunity now. There is more opportunity now than any other time in history. And life is, for the most part, easier now than any other time in history. Yet you won't see, you see more people making excuses today than any other time in history. I mean, let's go back a few hundred years. So, a few hundred years, it just started opening up to where it was possible for a person, if they were born poor or middle class, to move up. You guys realize that, like back in the day, there were different classes of families. There were aristocrats. There were people that were on different levels. There were people. If you were a farmer back in the day, you stayed a farmer. You couldn't become a king. You couldn't become an aristocrat. You couldn't move up. You were stuck a farmer. You were working 14 hours a day. That's what you did. If you were born what's another level? Maybe a clergyman, or maybe you were born a knight, who would be, I guess, a level above that. All right, you were a knight. You were a knight. Your son was a knight. His son was a knight. That's how it worked out. You couldn't move up and, get to a higher position. And the hours that people were working were a lot longer back then. And even if you just go back a few hundred years, if you go back a few hundred years, we could go back thousands of years, and we could look from let's say, when were the Egyptians? A time of around 600 or 6,000, about 6,500 years ago till today. Look at the jobs people had back then. Just look at the jobs from a few hundred years ago. People, people had their, if people were a farmer, again, they're working 12, 14-hour days, sunrise to sundown, doing manual labor, hard work. You look at some of the other jobs, even if you just go back maybe roughly 150 years ago, or let's say 100 years ago, you look at some of the jobs back then, as let's say the industrial, in the time of the Industrial Revolution, people were climbing and building stuff, and they were climbing on ladders, and it was fairly common that people would fall off and die. They didn't really have the technology or the security they have now to kind of harness someone in if someone had to go up a few stories. Now people can harness themselves in, they can go up, life's a little bit safer. And back then it was more, life was more tough. So you get in an argument with someone, you could go outside and have a duel with them. Is that the right word? I'm not exactly sure. And you guys could shoot each other and somebody dies. You guys argue in the bar, you guys have an argument in the street, there's an argument in the neighborhood, you go outside and you shoot each other. There was this example with one of our presidents. It wasn't one of our recent presidents, but it was, I want to say it was Andrew Jackson, but don't quote me. He had an argument with someone, so they went outside, and Andrew Jackson, or whoever the president was at the time, it was one of our presidents, so he shot a guy in the street. That's how people resolve stuff. All right, when's the last time? And okay, there is still some shootings, but statistically speaking, it is safer now than any other time in history. There are less shootings now than any other time in the history of the world. You just hear about it all the time. You hear about it because someone gets shot and it's on the news for a week. Right, back in the day, everybody was getting shot. So it wasn't in the news because this neighbor was shooting this neighbor because they had a dispute, and this person's shooting this person because they had a dispute. That's how it is. So it's safer now than any other time in history. And then, guess what? It's also safer for the business person. Back in the day, if you had a bakery, someone could just break in the middle of the night, steal your shit in the bakery, and you were shit out of luck. You had to use your money to go buy new machines and whatever they broke in the bakery. Now we have insurance. Now we have alarms. If you have a brick and mortar business, you have insurance and you have an alarm. Somebody breaks into your place. Yeah, they might steal some shit, but you have cameras that are infrared cameras. The alarm goes off. There's a good chance they're getting caught. And if they don't get caught and they take a bunch of shit, your insurance covers it. You're getting brand new stuff and you're not fully out of pocket for it. Now, guys, we're in a time where information is easier. Back in the day, if you wanted to start a business, you might have had to get a mentor. You might have had to get an apprenticeship. You might have had to study under someone for 5 years before you really figure out what they were doing to potentially go and start your own business. Now, if you want to start your own business, guys, and you got to apologize for my voice. I was out for 4.5 hours last night. They don't drink any alcohol, but talking for 4.5 hours kind of run down your voice a little bit. Now, if you want to start a business, guys, you can go out there and start the business. It's easy. You can go get books on how to start businesses. You can get advanced programs. You can go get high-end programs that show you step-by-step how to start and grow businesses in specific fields. Information is more abundant now than any other place. And you can think about people that are rich. So people that are rich, let's say there's billionaires. There's billionaires out there and multi-billionaires who've spent their whole life growing a business. And these people, they got a lot of joy from like growing their business and the satisfaction and the money and kind of changing the world and helping out themselves at the same time and starting industries. Well, as these people get older, guys, a lot of times they're like, all right, I was getting all this attention before, and I was feeling like it had a purpose. Some of them were driven by different things, and now it's like I've kind of done it. What's another step? Oh, since I'm getting old and I really don't give a fuck anymore because I've accomplished everything, I'm going to go ahead and write a book that takes everything that I know, all the steps, all the strategies, all my mindsets and my way of thinking, because the way you think determines the actions you take, so it matters. And I'm going to take all that and I'm going to put it in a book. And they put it in a book, guys, which you can go and buy for $20 and read and absorb the information. And now there's books on very specific topics. So if you have, let's say you want to know how to grow a business, you can go read books on how to grow a business. Let's say you have challenges being motivated. You can go get information out there on how to be motivated. Let's say you realize you need to reprogram your subconscious mind. Yes, you can get like high-end programs. I actually have a program that teaches you how to, and you won't be able to find it unless you're kind of already in kind of my community. But a lot of people, so they want to get rich, but they have things inside themselves holding them back, things that happened in their childhood, unconscious beliefs, things that society has put into them, like maybe money's the root of all evil, or having too much money is bad, or money's going to alienate me from my friends and family, or when I make money, it's taking money from someone else. Some people, these thoughts and beliefs are conscious. Some things are not conscious. They're inside their subconscious mind, buried deep inside of you. So if you want to get wealthy, and you're out there trying to get wealthy, but you're going against these subconscious beliefs that are buried deep inside you, there's going to become conflicts, and it's going to be hard for you to get wealthy because you're trying to pull yourself this way, and at the same time, you're getting pulled this way. So what you need to do is you're going to reprogram your mind, your subconscious mind, and get your subconscious mind and the conscious mind aligned on the same path. So finally, for the first time, there's nothing internal holding you back, and you can go out there and create wealth quickly and easily, because finally, for the first time, there's nothing holding you back. If you just get the strategies, if you just get the tools to get wealthy, but you don't get rid of this thing that's pulling you apart, that's stopping you from going anywhere inside, it's going to be hard to get wealthy. So I have a high-end program that shows you step by step, once and for all, exactly what to do to get out of that, to finally align your subconscious mind and pull out all that junk and replace it with better programming. But guess what? I was talking to a buddy of mine who I was actually interviewing him. And he started off making like $15 an hour a few years ago. Now he makes about $300,000 a year. He's got a Tesla. In a few years, he'll be making millions of dollars a year. He recommended a book that helps with the process I just described, reprogramming your subconscious mind. You know what I did when I got done talking to him? I went to YouTube. I typed in the name of the book. Then I put the word audio. And I can tell you the name of the book. It's not a secret. It was something along the lines of, it's like how to reprogram your subconscious mind. Let me see if I'll just find it to you. It's like how to reprogram your subconscious mind or reprogram your subconscious mind. Then I put audiobook afterwards. Guess what the first result was on YouTube? It was the entire book on audio form for free. Now I got money, I could have afforded it, but it was free. All right, so then I got off the phone. It was an interview, so I was talking to him like face to face. I got done talking to him. I go to the gym, and guess what? I'm listening to the audiobook to the gym. I'm at the gym listening to the audiobook. I'm coming back, and then I had to do something else. I went through like a third of the book before I went to bed that night, and I finished it in the next few days. Okay? There's so much information out there that's good information, but people don't take the time to go over it, to absorb it, to get it. All this information. They don't take the time. I mean, you have the time. You could create the time, but when you're driving to work, when you're going to the grocery store, when you're sitting there in traffic, instead of you listening to self-improvement, you're listening to the radio. You're listening to songs that are all programming you negatively because they're triggering pain bodies. That's what they're doing. Because people, pain bodies, as Eckhart Tolle talks about, have a higher frequency than something positive. So it's easier to get you addicted to the feeling of the pain body, aka get you to spend more of your time focusing and listening to the song, which the radio wants you to spend more time, because if you spend more time on their station, they're ultimately going to make more money. That's kind of how that works. So there's all these songs out there. Oh, life was going good and then it knocked me down. Oh, I just started to have success and then I failed. Oh, I can never find the perfect relationship. Oh, my life sucks, blah, 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 blah. You listen to that shit, that seeps into you, and it affects your subconscious mind. It affects the way you think. It affects your programming. But what you could be doing is you could be out there listening to good information. Now, some stuff, especially like really advanced stuff, you're not going to find online for free, but I'm sure you could find hundreds of books on YouTube you could listen to for free. You can also find books on, what's the place called? Audible. You can go buy some books for a few bucks. On top of that, you can find people make videos, and they just put it out there. You can find videos of me on YouTube where I share free information. I got probably, as I'm making this video, a good 10 to 20 hours of free information. Free videos focus on different things. You can go watch those videos, guys. Guys, you don't have to necessarily watch my videos. Hopefully you guys like my videos. Hopefully you realize that I deliver value. One of the things that separates me from everyone else is I actually share with you specifics on exactly what to do to fix certain problems. A lot of these people that are self-improvement people, they'll talk about, I was listening to this one guy, okay, real popular guy, not going to say his name, you probably know. And he says stuff like, well, if you're not motivated, you just got to find your why. You're just not in touch with your why. And he kind of harps on that for like a half an hour, all right? Finding your why is important. I agree. Having a strong why is important. I agree. But, like we just talked about, if you have junk inside your subconscious that you don't even know you have that's pulling you in one direction, it doesn't matter how strong your why is. You need strategies and tactics, actual mechanics you can use to pull yourself in the right direction. Maybe it's meditating, could be visualizing, could be doing incantations, could be reframing, and there's a handful of other strategies that you can learn that I teach you in some of my stuff on exactly what to do. So I'm not just sitting there saying, go find your why. I'm saying, oh, if you have a problem with this, this is how you fix it. Oh, if you're not motivated, it's just not about finding your why. There's an actual strategy. There's actual mechanics you can do that motivate yourself. There's things you can do, guys, to where you can literally, in about 10 minutes, let's say your motivation was a 2, raise your motivation to about an 8 in 10 minutes. I do it to myself. It's a technique. It's a strategy. It's a formula that I follow. And I have information where I teach you that formula. So I'm not just, so I give you guys the mechanics. That's one of the things that you'll notice about me that separates me from everyone else. But there's still other people. Now, some guys are full of shit, so you got to make sure you only, if you're going to listen to other guys, make sure they're walking the walk. They're actually teaching you stuff that works, and they've done it themselves. You guys know I've started over a dozen businesses. I've been listening to self-improvement for 2 to 3 years, for over 10 years. 2 to 3 hours a day. I started a restaurant. I started a detail shop. I started a promotional company, which I grew to the largest in my industry. I've helped people start businesses and make money. I had a guy get one of my programs. It's one of my higher end programs that costs money. Shows you how to start a specific business. did $2,300 and some change in a month. So not only have I done it myself, I've shown other people how to do it, right? So I can show you if I've done it and I've taught other people, and he's not just any example. There's other examples of other people that are having success too. So it makes sense to listen to me. But hey, you can listen to other people. There's other people that are good that you can go out there and you can type in their stuff. I do it, guys. I type in their stuff and I'll listen to some Anthony Robbins. I listen to some Dan Kennedy. I listen to some Grant Cardone. I listen to some Eckhart Tolle. And then sometimes there's something specific. Maybe I might listen to a little bit of Orrin Woodward. He's got some good stuff. So I'm always absorbing getting better information. It blows my mind that there's all these people out there who could get better information. They have the ability to get better information, but they don't. Okay, you could right now start listening to 2 to 3 hours of self-improvement for free every single day. Now, you might not go to the gym like me, but maybe you're driving to and from work listening to self-improvement. You have lunch listening to self-improvement. You know what I used to do on my lunch break when I had a job? So one of my jobs was working at AT&T as a salesperson. We had an hour-long lunch. In the back during lunch, I had headphones in, and I'm watching these programs that I got. I've got hundreds of thousands of dollars of programs that I bought that teach very advanced stuff. I'd be listening to one of the programs, watching it on my phone for an hour. And then the drive to and from work was a half an hour. So I'm listening to self-improvement. Already got 2 hours of self-improvement in. You could be doing that too. Are you doing that? Or on your lunch break, are you watching YouTube videos? Are you sitting there on Facebook, scrolling through, watching hours of Facebook videos of, this, cute cats or someone fighting or some bullshit or some, there's always some new thing the media makes a big deal. Oh, there's a virus. Oh, there's ISIS. Oh, there's other stuff. Now, I'm not saying that's not something to be aware of, but, if there's a threat, be aware of it and understand really how risky is it? How is it really going to affect you? And then if it does, make some plans, and then that's it. There's no reason to spend 2 hours going over the same info. Oh, there's a problem. All right, let me spend 5 minutes reading about it. Read about it. This is where it's at now. I have an understanding of it. You don't want to be behind of it. Okay. Back to learning, back to growing, back to improving. You're washing dishes. You're grocery shopping. Maybe you're fixing things around the house. Maybe you're mowing the lawn. Now, I guess maybe mowing the lawn, it would be kind of loud, but maybe if you turn the music up loud or the self-improvement up loud enough you could hear it. You're washing your car. You are cleaning the house. Did I already say that? Okay. You could easily start listening to 2 to 3 hours of self-improvement a day. And probably not even have to make time for it because you could be doing it with the activities that you're doing. And you start growing. You start your thinking starts to get on the same frequency as the people you're listening to. You do that for a year, guys. Let's do the math. 2 to 3 hours a day for a year. A little under 1,000 hours of self-improvement a day. You think you're self-improvement in the next 365 days. You think you're going to have better thinking. You think that you're going to be in a different place than you are. You think you're going to be elevated. Of course, most people don't do that. And then, guys, starting a business back in the day was kind of risky. You had to put a lot of money out. Now to start a business is easy. There's lots of businesses you can start online with the computer for like an hour a day as a side business. Very not risky at all, and grow that business to the point to where it eventually you make more on that than you do with your job, and you can quit it and focus on your business. Back in the day, if you wanted to start a business, you can't really start an internet business. What kind of business can you start? Woo, guys, my voice is horrible today. Well, you could start a bakery. You could start a candlestick making place. You're going to have to rent. You're going to have to get the equipment. You're going to have to sign first and last month's rent, if that's how they did it back then, of the place. You're going to have to get the candle wicks. You're going to have to put a lot of money up front. You're going to have to quit your job and focus on the candle wicking business 24 hours, and it's pretty fucking risky. Now, guys, there's lots of businesses you can start online that require no money or maybe a little bit of money, maybe like $100 a month to maintain, and then you can grow it. And maybe you got to get access to some information that teaches you how to do it, all right? Guys, that is not risky at all. But people are sitting there, you know what the average person says? Oh, they're so much in fear, they don't even take the opportunity. What if I fail? What if I buy this program and I try it out and I waste a few months of my life and maybe I waste a few hundred or a few $1,000s? Guys, who gives a fuck? Think about the big scheme of things. You blow money on stupid shit all the time. I blow money on stupid shit all the time. Maybe you got something you like to blow money on. Could be shopping. Could be a hobby. Right? Could be there's this guy. I was listening to this guy who was talking about, he knows this guy. The guy is broke. Has no money. But he likes to play pool. So he's got the pool stick 5000 that can shoot the ball across the pool thing and magically things happen. Maybe you like to go horseback riding. Maybe you like to garden and you spend all your money on buying flowers and stuff. Guys, it's great to have hobbies, but is that stuff going to move you forward in life? Is that stuff going to elevate you? Is that going to take you to the next level? Is that going to allow you to grow a business, to have freedom so you can do the things you want to do? Probably not. But people will spend all their money on that, and then they land across an opportunity. Could be mine, could be someone else's. Oh, they're not going to buy it. It's too much risk. They're afraid of it. What if it doesn't work out? And they live in fear while they still spend tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetime on stupid shit, and then they die. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to get a program. Now, all my advanced programs come with money-back guarantees because my shit works. But they get an advanced program. Now, maybe you get it from someone that doesn't have a money-back guarantee. I always have money-back guarantees because I understand it can be kind of nerve-wracking to take risks. I don't want there to be any risks. I either want you to make 10 times at least as much money as you invest in the program, if not more, or you get your money back. But let's say that you get a program that's $2,000 and it doesn't have a money-back guarantee, and you try something out for a few months. The worst thing is you wasted a few months, you learned some shit, and you blew $2,000, and maybe it needed you to spend a little bit of money, maybe $100 a month. So you blew $2,400. Whoop-de-fucking-do. We know that you blow more than that in a month, on a year on stupid shit anyway. Don't we? All right? I've done that. I got involved in one program. I spent over $5,000 on the training, and then another $5,000 on marketing. Turned out to be a scam. Guys, sure, I was a little upset, but that's how the world works. All I need is one opportunity. All you need is find the one thing that works and stick with it, and it will take off. You can make hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars a year with it and be successful. It's easy. You want to know why it's easy? Because most people are so afraid of failure, they don't even take a risk. They stay in their bubble. They stay working at their job. They stay paying their bills. They stay working at a mediocre life. They don't live their life fully. They don't use all their God-given talents. And then they get, every single day, they get a little bit more pissed off because they're stuck at the job. And then you see these people that when they were 20s, they were happy and vibrant. Now they're in their 60s, they're old and grumpy because they know they're letting their life pass them by. Then they die. That's what happens. Then there's the rare. Then there's the few. Then there's someone that starts off and they take some risks. Maybe they try things that work. Some things work, some things don't. They stay with it. They eventually find something that works. That money pays for all the things and all the mistakes in the past, and they get a business. That business ends up making them hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a year. It's easy to make millions of dollars a year when you know the strategies. They work 5 to 10 hours a week because they have their business set up in a way to where it can do that, and it's very easy to do that. They travel all over the world. They do whatever they want every single day. They don't have any worries about money. They don't let money hinder their decisions about what they want to do in life. They live an amazing life, a stress-free life when they take their significant other and their kids on lots of vacations so they can experience life. They live a high-quality life. They do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it. And then when they're laying on their deathbed, they feel satisfied. They feel at peace because they know they accomplished everything they wanted to do in their life. The question is, which person are you going to be? You will die. When you're laying there on your deathbed, it's going to be one of two things. Most people have regrets. Go talk to people in nursing homes. Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this. He talks to people in nursing homes, and they all talk about how they regret things. They regret not taking risks. They played it safe. They wanted to play it safe, so they didn't take any risks. And they're playing it safe all right, all the way to the grave. And now they're getting close to death. They know it. And their life is fucking hell because they played it safe so much. Life passed them by, and now they're going to die, and they have nothing to show for it. Lots of people become that person. You may be that person unless you decide to take some actions to move you in a different area of life. And, okay, guys, just watching this video is not going to change anything. You need to take certain actions. You need to do things differently. Start taking different actions in your life so you can start pulling your life in a different direction than where it's going now if you're not happy with where you are in life. The good news is you can do this at any age. The guy that started KFC, he had a job. He retired at age 65. He was ready to commit suicide. He literally took a gun to the edge of where he was living. He was going to shoot himself at the age of 65. Told himself he was young, told himself he still had opportunity, started KFC at the age of 88. KFC was a $1 billion company. This guy was uber duper rich at the age of 88. You can do it at any time, but you have to make the right decisions. You have to go down that path. Because when you die and you're laying on your deathbed, you're either going to have regret, you're either going to be pissed off, or you're going to be happy. You're going to have a sense of peace because you know you went for the things you wanted in life. Maybe you were scared. That's okay, but you went for the things you wanted in life anyway. You figured it out. You stuck with it. You lived the life you deserved. And now you can die a peaceful, happy death when it's your time. Make the right decision so when that moment happens in your life, you can be peaceful, you can be satisfied, and you can look back on your life realizing that your life was a life worth living. If you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you on the next one. But don't just watch this video. Make sure that you make the right decision so you can live the life that you were destined to live.